Aviators! What's up? Hey, this is your boy Dean Willpower making another video. Today I want to go ahead and talk about 5 things that I wish I would have known before I started United Aviate Academy. I am definitely trying to figure out if this was the right move to apply with United Aviate Academy and wait as long as I have waited and just have faith in the system. All right, so let me go ahead and talk a little bit about things that I wish that I would have known before I applied to UAA. The wait time. I wish ahead of time, going into this thing, I wish that I knew about the wait. The wait is right now going to be over a year's time, because I was conditionally approved September 2022, and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. It was suggested or assumed that the wait was only going to be 4 months when I had applied through the website, and it's, you know, with everything that has happened, you know, many students are waiting a year. Some have waited a little bit less, some have waited a little bit more, but I know right now that I am going to be at least a year wait. They are supposed to be coming out with Q4's wait list by tomorrow. I believe it's tomorrow or Tuesday. They are supposedly going to be emailing individuals to go ahead and get ready for Q4, which is October, November, December. So I'm hoping that my number gets called and that it doesn't turn into something that I'm going to be waiting until, you know, this January, which is going to put me at roughly about a 15-month wait. Number 2, I wish I'd known about the lack of clarity and transparency. They really don't give you too much information about how they come up with the wait list. They do not go in order. There is some type of magic formula that they use to go ahead and come up with the class, and they won't tell you that, and they won't share with you exactly where they are. They don't really give out a lot of information about what's going on, the inner workings, some of the problems that they've been experiencing. But as of right now, they basically send out general emails every quarter roughly after they get their class schedules together. The other thing that I wish that I would have known is the lack of the supporting team, like the staff, mechanics, people waiting for check rides, you know, instructors. You know, it seems like everywhere you go, people are making excuses that they don't have enough staff, you know, whether it's going to get a burger and you're waiting, or you're trying to go ahead and call customer service at some type of company, you're waiting, you know, and always the excuse is, you know, they're short staff. Well, United Aviate Academy is definitely no stranger to that. So from what I understand, that a lot of problems that they've been experiencing internally is contributed to not having enough staff. The instructors are not there as far as like the number that they need. They were looking for external flight instructors. Also, not enough mechanics. You know, I've seen on some one ads through like you know, the internet, like Indeed.com, that they're looking for mechanics. Also, the check ride examiners, seems like it's pretty tough to go ahead and get them, and it's definitely causing a little bit of backlog as well. You know, another thing is the lack of airplanes. You know, they say that they're lacking in airplanes as well. How this can be with the lack of instructors, I don't know. But I did hear from the refueler at Goodyear Airport. He said that they had just ordered 50 new planes. So, I'm not sure if that's all going to come at one time or if it's going to come in stages or whatnot. But I did hear that they did order 50 new planes. Okay. And the last thing that I want to go ahead and talk about, the fifth thing, is that I wish that I knew that the students were taking longer than 12 months. Which all these things that I'm talking about, the lack of the supporting team with the instructors, the DPEs, the mechanics, the lack of planes, and also students taking longer than they should, really has caused a backlog of students. From an inside source, one of the students that I spoke to said that they're taking a long time to get just the PPL. Students are taking 6 months. They used to allow students to do up to 100 hours with a PPL. Now, FAA states that, you can get your PPL, I think at like 45 hours, but most people get around 50, 55 hours. And the school had allowed students to go all the way up to 100 or more. I believe now they have cracked down on that, but in the beginning stages, you letting students, go 100 hours. I mean, like, come on, for a PPL? I mean, come on, man, So they just had a graduation, and come to find out that the graduation that they promoted on, you can see it on the internet, only one of them had completed in 12 months. The rest of them were still either in instruments or commercial rating. A lot of them didn't have their, not even CFI certifications. Some of them didn't even complete like their multi-engine yet, and it was like maybe about 50 students up there, and they're supposed to be the first class. So if the first class has not even gotten basically all the way through, then what do you think is going to happen with the remaining students that are coming through? So this whole thing has just been like a total disaster. As far as like the rollout goes, they do a lot of a lot of presentation on, being culturally, I don't know, whatever, by trying to hire all these females, trying to hire all these minorities, but they don't really talk about the actual accomplishments of the school. Basically what's going on with the school, like, how people are moving through the process. It's all about, making United Airline resemble their customers, right? So I'm a little disappointed. I know I made a video about, is United Aviate worth the wait? And I truly felt at that time it was. But, I did hear a story about a girl that I chatted with in the DM. She sold her business, she sold her house, and she took a leap of faith. She's in the school, and I'm not even sure if she is still there, because they are starting to kick people out now. They are starting to tighten down on things. The students, as far as like the students go, they're only wanting about 10 to 15 new students at a time versus the 30 to 40 that they were normally bringing in. So, I sold my house. I sold my house. I just closed about a week or two ago, because I wanted to go ahead and pursue this dream I had. I wasn't able to get a loan. You know, I've been in Asia for like about 3 years, and my credit is not that good. I haven't really, utilized credit in the last 5 or 6 years. So, I mean, like, there was no way that I was going to go ahead and get a loan. So I sold my home, and now I do have the money, but I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for some type of correspondence from United Aviate Academy. But I want to go ahead and share something that I was actually came across when I was trying to look for a little bit more information about the school, because I actually wanted to kind of figure out how many hours are they basically being able to fly per week. But I ran across an article, and it's from Live and Let's Fly. Okay, and this article was created actually July 7th, 2023 by Matthew Clint. So here's what the title is. It says, "Concerning allegations suggest trouble at Showcase United Aviate Academy." And basically what he did a little bit of research, and he actually took a snippet from a Reddit post that was done. And I'm going to go ahead and read to you verbatim what it says. Okay, so here we go. "So yet as we enter the second half of 2023, a detailed post on Reddit posted by a student or a student advocate at the United Aviate Academy, UAA, suggests that the people running UAA may need more accountability. Let's examine the note. So remember, United's Revolutionary Flight School, the United Aviate Academy, yeah, well, it's kind of an absolute dumpster fire. What could go wrong when you put a 17 billion airline in charge of a large flight school? Well, apparently, literally everything. Okay, so the school is riddled with problems. Okay, number one, they have hundreds of people who have been accepted that are waiting for the class dates, but are currently bringing in 10 to 15 students per month, and even skipping some months. Now, I know that, what is it? I think Delta Propel, or I think it's Delta Propel. I was actually going on their website. I heard about it. I was going to go ahead and apply. And they came after United Aviate Academy. And when I went to go ahead and apply, they said that they're not accepting any more students because they reached their limit for that year. I don't understand why United Aviate Academy can't do that. If they're having all these problems, why keep on, sending out these letters and, getting people to, thinking that, they actually are going to be this pilot within 12 months and in this program within a certain amount of time. So, number two, they are incredibly behind on their training timeline. Everywhere they state that this is a 12-month program, multi-engine flight instructor, but in reality, people are taking over 18 months just to finish CFI, Certified Flight Instructor. Number three, another example of training delays. People at the Academy are currently taking over 5 months to finish their PPL. Of a class of 16 that started Q1 2023, only 4 have taken their PPL check ride as of the end of June. Oh my God. Number 4, instructors are incredibly overloaded. Some instructors have as many as 11 students. And remember, these are full-time students. Students are promised 5 flights per week, but are often kept at 2 to 4 because of the instructors cannot legally fly enough. Wow. Number 5, speaking of overloaded instructors, management pushes CFIs to their limit, but also watches their every move and any minor wrong step, like flying too much with certain students, has gotten CFIs fired. Wow. Number 6, people are having to wait up to a month in between certifications due to the instructor overload. Okay, let me turn this up a little bit. Okay. All right. So number 7, they are not hiring their own graduates, but are starting to hire externally. What? Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Number 8, management is trying to hide all the problems. For example, they're having graduation ceremonies for those who finish commercial pilot license, even though the program doesn't end until you finish all of your CFI certificates, in order to make them look on time, since people are taking 12 to 13 months just to finish their CPL. Wow. Number 9, UAA fosters a culture of intimidation. Many students have been let go after speaking out or complaining to higher ups for vague reasons, and therefore students currently at the school are too scared to speak up. School management constantly has all eyes and ears open for any sign of dissent or criticism and is looking over everyone's shoulder. Number 10, despite all these issues, United Aviate Academy management is currently having internal casting calls for a primetime commercial that will be airing nationwide. I think that shows where the school's management priorities lie. At this point, I am convinced that United doesn't care about flight training at all, and United Aviate Academy is just a poster child for its "good leads the way" marketing message, because wherever they talk about the school, they only talk about how many women and minorities are at the school, but never discuss any actual flight training accomplishments or achievement. Well, there you have it, folks. That's from a student that has obviously been there for quite a while and sees the inner workings of what's going on. Listen, I get it. You know, United Aviate Academy, you know, it sounds like a dream, you know, a direct path to United Airlines. But I have waited currently 9 months, and I didn't get called in the Q3 class roster. So the earliest that I'll be able to go ahead and be accepted is October, which will put me at 13 months waiting. You know, I turned in every single thing that they asked me to turn in, right? And if I somehow missed this next week's Q4 class roster, then that would mean the earliest that I will be able to go ahead and get in would be January. And that would put me at 15 months. And that's not even guaranteed that I would get in. So, you know, I had a friend that went into ATP in October of last year, right? And he's already becoming a CFI, right? And I was actually conditionally approved before him. And even though he has experienced some setbacks and everything, you know, with DPEs taking a little bit longer and him making mistakes, you know, during his PPL, he is still able to go ahead and get done a little bit further than I am. So with that being said, I have already begun training at a local school that just so happens to fly out of Goodyear Airport, the same airport as United Aviate Academy, just to prepare myself that if I don't get called up this next week, this next class roster that's coming in Q4, I'm going to have to go somewhere else, because I'm 49 years old, about to be 50, and I've waited, well, we'll have to wait at least a minimum 13 months. And to be honest, there's no guarantee I'm going to finish in 12 months. So it may be a little bit longer. But I